Hello everyone, am I audible? Uh, my name is Anupama guys and I'll be the instructor and the host for today's session. Please let me know if you can see my screen and can hear me well. Like you can just type in yes in the chat. That'll be great. Arpita, do you want me to continue or should I wait for others to join in?
Probably we can start with the introduction. You can take an introduction, and we can even know our participants.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be great if you can just unmute yourself guys and then go one by one. I see Mayank, I see Sagar, I see Harshit. Anyone interested? Maybe you can just, write a quick intro about you in the chat, saying that you're this much of years of experience, and if you are interested, maybe you can write from which company and where you are from, and how well you rate yourself in DSA. Like out of maybe 5, can you rate yourself? I'll just give you guys like
Hello.
probably, yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Mayank.
Hey, good evening, everyone.
A very good evening.
So, my name is Mayank. I'm working as a freelancer in
Mm-hmm.
database technology, and I don't have any like programming background.
Oh, okay. That's good. So,
So,
mm,
I mean, I know programming, but I'm not very familiar with the advanced coding and DS. And purpose is
mm-hmm,
like to learn data structure and tools.
mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's great. So do you guys, I mean, do you been doing the freelancing thing from quite a while? So what's your aim? Do
And
you want to go to a fan company? Do you have any favorite fan company, Mayank?
so I'm working from last 10 years
Oh, wow. Okay.
with multiple clients directly from US as a
Mm-hmm.
freelancer.
Mm,
And now I'm looking for some advance in my career.
mm-hmm. That's
So
amazing. Thank you, Mike. And okay, I do know that you don't have any prior experience, but if I ask you to rate yourself in DSA, what would that be like? 5 being the highest and
if it is
1 being the
minus
lowest.
one, then minus
Oh
one.
my gosh. Okay, -1. That's fun. Okay, good. No
Means
worries.
I know basic terminology, okay, because uh, like I know what is list, okay, by definition, but
Okay.
I never used that like in a proper way.
So do you know you can write a for loop and everything, right?
I know PL still, so I know loops, if condition.
Yeah, yeah, that's good enough for us because even this session is intended for like FAANG interview questions, but not going for harder ones. It's going to be I'm going to stick to very simple and easy ones. Okay, cool. So I see one in the chat. Sagar, hi Sagar. I am working in service based company for last 3 months and I have started learning DSA. I have basic knowledge of DSA. So can I expect that you're a recent graduate, Sagar? That's cool. Okay. How about others? I see one person just joined in, uh, Ranadhir and Harshit. You guys, if you are interested, maybe you can just quickly introduce yourself. You can either unmute and just can say hello, hi, else you can just type it in the chat. Anything is fine. Thank you, Mayank, for unmuting and talking with me. Cool. So I'll just introduce myself in the meantime. Please go ahead and, you know, put down your things in the chat. My name is Anupama. You already have seen that by now. I have been into this teaching profession for last, I think, 7 years. I'm into industry for a bit more than 4 years. I been working with Microsoft for quite some time, and yes, so right now I have taken some gap, so yeah, I love teaching, so that is something that I haven't uh doing. I love it. I love DSA, and those are my major strong areas, so I talk about these. Coming to FAANG interview questions, FAANG is a amazing thing, guys. I definitely know if you guys are attending, you are aiming to go into either of this. It'll be fun if I ask you guys to tell me where do you want to see yourself. Like I understand you all want some enhancement in your careers. You want to get placed, want to get out of your service-based company or something or the other. So, what is your favorite FAANG company? Mine was Microsoft. So when I was in DBS, so I just studied like day and night and got rejected from many companies. But then I finally got offers from ServiceNow, Amazon, and Microsoft. So I finally went with Microsoft. So yeah, that's about me. Okay, so Saga's favorite is Amazon with a big heart. Amazing, dude. How about others? Anyone have any target that they want to be? Or you're just fine with any product-based company? Cool. Google, then MS. Okay, cool. Okay, how about others? Anyone? Okay, let me just Amazon and Google. Cool. All are typically are from FAANG. Cute. That's amazing. So we'll just continue. I'll open the platform for the last 10 minutes to discuss about these companies. I'll tell you what my ideology or what my understanding is with respect to Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. Okay. And if you have any
So,
interview based, yeah. Yes,
Arpita,
ma'am.
like just one question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
So, okay.
you're audible. Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if this batch is okay for me because I don't have any programming background. So my purpose is to learn from basic and then advanced DSA. So I don't know. You
Hmm.
can guide me on this.
Sure. I think Arpita is probably the right person. She can give you more details about the when the batch is going to get started and which batches are like ongoing and which are upcoming. Probably I'll show you a PPT presentation at the end of this session. And then Arpita can answer your questions. If you want, maybe Arpita, are you there
Okay.
on online? Let me just ping her. Okay, so I think Arpita is slightly away. She just messaged me. So Mayank, so the thing is, we will be having a proper class and everything, where if possible I'll be the taking them, and I have like all the ppts will be going from the scratch, talking about how to do with Python, like how do you write basic data structures with respect to Python, with respect to arrays, loops, recursion. I In those classes we go from the scratch, and that have a schedule, that have a full course, like 60 hours thing and everything. But this what we are doing right now, this is more of a like a webinar sort of a thing, where I talk most probably only about the FAANG interview questions. So depending upon my audience for that day, I either go for the hard level interview questions or I go for basic level interview questions. Uh, I hope I have answered your question.
Hi Anupama, this is Avinash. So my
Hi.
question is like, yeah, we are starting with this interview questions. So will you share with us like this on the PDF form, these questions after the meeting?
Do you want just the questions or like questions plus the answer of it?
No. Yeah, plus the answer, so we can practice later on this because
Uh,
as this is
mhm,
like, see, my scope is to learn the data structures, okay, the with
mhm,
codings and all, whatever. So
mhm,
whatever you're giving, that's a like beneficial part on the
mhm,
interview side. But as per the courses we'll go, we'll come to know whatever we have to learn and all, how to practice and all.
mhm.
So these things will need future.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking, like, will you share with us these things?
Yeah, definitely. Like usually when we do the course thing, right, Avinash? So in that, no, what I usually do is like, I do share like everything, like whatever the PPTs, I have like PPTs and everything. So I'll just share one sample PPT, and for today's session, if you want me to, I'll share the questions and the answers in the PPT. That's no issues at all. I'll do that. Like you explain me why it is important. I'll definitely do that. But just for you guys to understand more, I will show you one quick PPT. Just a moment. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
So yeah, so basically this is the highlight of the courses that we take usually, and I also take for DSA with Python. Okay, we give like 60 hours plus DSA live training, and then after that we will be having some webinars on the weekend. So the classes and everything that usually depends upon I get an update from the Learn Bay, but probably by the end of this session, Arpita will be available to take questions. Okay, I am more of like an instructor, but if you have any questions regarding the question or the study material, that's where I come into the picture. Apart from that, about the batches and when they started and registration and everything, Arpita is the one who's going to help you, or Jitendra. They are the one who's going to help you. Okay. So I am going to post these details, okay, into the chat. So after this session, if you have any more questions about it, so we also have some new more batches which is going to start in February. So then there's an upcoming batch on 29 that is from today, and also coming from February, I guess. Yeah, 13 February. See, so if you, depending upon your confidence level, if you need to start from the basics, you can come into the upcoming batches. If you think that you already have like the basic knowledge, I can write a for loop, I'm comfortable with while loop and list, maybe you can just join the ongoing batches. That's purely up to you. So yeah, so that's about like the overall course thing. Is that fine, guys?
Yes.
Yes, Anupam.
Great, great. And usually even my courses, they are like this. I have my ongoing PPTs. Just a moment, I'm just showing that. Where is it? Zone B. So usually when we talk about a different data structure, so I took a webinar last week also. In the last week webinar, I presented about the tree data structure, and then I went for the questions from all the way to easy to the hard level questions in a 2 hour session. Just a quick glance on the tree. So what exactly a tree is, and then what are the different terminologies for it? What do we call each thing? And all of these things. So this is how I present with PPTs, and then I move to lead code, and then I solve some questions over that. So I usually solve in two ways. Either I can solve it with like, if it's a very, very easy question, then I just explain the algorithm of it, and then I immediately jump to the coding part. If not, I explain the question, then I talk about the algorithm, and then I go to the coding part. Okay, it's a three-step process. First, read the question, understand, get the algorithm, then write the code for it. So this is the three-step process that I'm going to do for all the other questions that I have planned for the day. So feel free to interrupt me anytime, guys, if you don't understand. I understand there are a few people who are new to the programming language and everything, but that's fine. You know, if you're not able to understand the code, that's always a different thing. But if you have any doubts in the algorithm, please ask me. Okay, so, and I also highly encourage each and everyone to unmute and talk with me when we are solving the questions. That gives everyone a added advantage of getting different views and different perspectives. Okay, guys? So let's get started. So the first question for the day that I have picked is this sort colors. So as you can see, the likes are 8,000. This is a very, very popular question and it's been asked in the interview many a times. Trust me, it was asked to me also in one of my interviews. So the question is, given an array nums with an n object colored red, white, and blue, sort them in place so that objects of the same color are adjacent with the colors in the order of red, white, and blue. We will use the integers 0, 1, 2 to represent the color red, white, and blue respectively. You must solve this problem without using the library sort function. So basically, the first question for the day here is sort color. So what they are saying is we are going to have a red, blue, and I think the white. So these are the three colors. He's saying the red color is going to be represented with 0, blue is with 1, and white is with 2. So that is what the question is briefly about. And then they are asking us to do a term is there called in place. As you can see, it's in bold and it's also a hyperlink. Okay, guys. So if and all they want is given an array of these colors, you just want them in a sorted way. That's it. If I just remove the extra part of being colors and blah blah blah, it's only about zeros, ones, and twos, and they are just here in a place, and then you just want all the zeros in the front, twos at the end, and ones in the middle. That's what the question is all about. Is the question clear, guys? Anyone is still stuck with the question? Yes, no, maybe. You can write in the chat if you have understood the question. Clear. Great. Thank you so much. Clear. Great, great, great. So the question is, I think I'll just take the input array, which is 2, 0, 2, 110. So I have 2, 0, 2, then 1, 1, 0. This is the input array it is given to us. And the expected array is we want all the zeros followed by 1, followed by 2. So we bring this 0 to the front. So we have 0, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0. Then I have one more 0, which I'll get it here. Then 0, 0, 2, 2, 1, 1. Then I have this one to come need here and this one to here. If I do that, I'll get 1, 1, and 2, 2. So this is our expected and a correct output, guys. So the question is pretty much straightforward. We just need to do a sort. The first thing that is coming into my head is we need to do a sort. But here the disclaimer is saying that you must solve this problem without using library's sort function. Correct. Cool. So sort is out of the picture. You cannot use the sort directly, but we can write a sort algorithm to do with this thing. Can we do that, guys? Can we write a sort algorithm? What do you think? Can we write a sort? So here's my question to all of you. Can we write a sort algo? Yes, no, anything, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, correct. Okay, so we will start looking at the approaches for this question. So the very first approach for the day is, I'm going to write approach number 1 is sort. So if we talk about the sorting, there are like so many algorithms. So the best sorting algorithm that you can have is n log n. In this time complexity, the best one is called L log n, guys. So that is usually a merge sort or a quick sort, but I am not going to write merge or quick sort, but rather I'm going to write a basic sort. What is a basic sort? So if I have 202, 1110, there is another sort called bubble sort. Has anyone heard about bubble sort ever? Maybe back in the college days, anyone?
Just then call it data structure.
Okay, that is cool. So can anyone maybe unmute and maybe talk about it? If they remember. Okay, it's nothing, guys. It's very simple. Yeah, that's an n square. You're absolutely correct, Sagar. So basically, guys, what we do is we pick the location. We pick a location and we check who is the right person to get in there. So basically, we always want if the indexes of days is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the lower indices should have a lower values, correct? So what we're going to do is we're going to take 0th index and we're going to search some other value which is supposed to be there. So we go and we check if 2 is less than 0. Yes, it is. So you swap it. So what I have done earlier is simple. So you start from here, you check if it is less than, then you replace it. Then like that, you do the process continuously and then you get the right place where you can get it. Okay, guys, as simple as that. So we start from here, one outer loop. So we just write one for loop for here, another for loop inside to check. We check from I to the length of n and then we replace at any position. If my array of j is greater than array of I, we swap. This is a higher level overview of a bubble sort, and bubble sort is of n square. So I'm not going in detail because this is not the right way of doing it, because n square is a um very bad time complexity, to be honest. So rather, so we will go for an approach number 2. So does anyone have any other ideas maybe how we can sort this algorithm? Anyone wants to take a guess? Okay, what if I would have given this question to maybe some kids? How will they solve it? Don't think about any high level algorithm. Just think like, how will you do it? If the swaps are out of the picture, then how? Hash map. Okay. What are you going to do with the hash map, Piyush? If you're comfortable, you can just unmute and you can talk. Okay. Just letting you know. So I have one suggestion here, hash map. Okay. He's suggesting for a count. Okay. Then make a new list. What do others think about it? Do you think it'll work? In the order of 0, in the order. So in the order. So absolutely, that does make sense to me. Yes, hash map will work. Thank you. So yeah, guys, so this is what I was talking about. We can simply count. We can say I have count. We have 3 variables, count 0, count 1, and then we can have a count 2. You don't even need a hash map, to be honest. The reason for that is you know that your input is always going to be limited with 3 elements. That is 0, 1, and 2. So I can actually go ahead and declare 3 variables called count 0, count 1, and count 2. Every time when I get a new element, I will just increment that. So initially, I will have all of them initialized with 0. But then when I get a new element, I will go ahead and I will just update them. So for example, when I'm here, I get a 2. I say I got a 2. So I'll increment this count to 1. Then I move ahead and I come to this part. In this index, I get a 0. I say I got a 0. So I'll update this count. Then I get a 2. I say again got a 2. So I'll update this to 2. Then 1. I say 1. Then I get one more 1. I say 2. And then I get a 0, which is 2. So eventually the count is 2, 2, 2. Then I can create a new list or override the current list, same list with these values. I run my loop to this numbers. I say I will replace the first 2 elements with the number of zeros, then the next elements with number of ones, then the next elements with number of twos. So what will I do? Initially, if it was 0, comma, this, then I will come and I'll say this is not a 0, this is a 0, then at 1 and 1 and 2 and 2. I'll just simply override. How's this, guys? Making any sense? Yes, no, or anyone is lost somewhere? I think few of you must be thinking, why am I overriding instead of creating a new list? Does anyone have this doubt? Why am I overriding instead of creating a new list? The answer to that question is, guys, because the question is asking us to do an in place. So if I create a new place, yeah, that's correct, Sagar. If I create a new list, I am not supposed to return. I can't return. If I create a new list, it will just be there. So as you can see in the editor, it is saying do not return anything, modify the numbers in the nums. So since I can't return, either I have to reiterate the new list and update again in the nums, or just reassign it to back, which is same. So instead of doing all that extra work, I'm just updating in the current view. So this is fine. This is amazing. What is the time complexity? Can anyone guess? So what is the time complexity for the people? A quick definition is we talk about how long the algorithm will take. So earlier, if you see, here I have like two loops, one inside another. So since it's a nested and it's going to run from 0 to n, 0 to n. So it's called n square because n into n square. So similarly, what is this approach? I have guys in the chat, big of n, big of n. That is absolutely correct. We do not have any internal for loops. We are running this loop only once and then one more time to replace it. So it's actually going to the big of n. And space complexity, it's big of 1. It's a constant. The reason why it is constant, because I have only 1, 2, and 3 variables, not n variables. This is cool. This is really, really good. But to be honest, this is not in place. You're overriding the values. So can anyone guess what is an in place? Anyone wants to guess? In single traversal. Well, yeah, but it can be changed based on what you are talking. Like sometimes when we say in place, that basically means that you're not supposed to take any extra values and just do it like in within the allotted space. So in our case, we were actually taking some extra space. We were taking that variables, even though it's constant, but we were taking the variables and then you were overriding it. So that is not accepted in the real time interview. Okay. So we will see what is an in place, guys. Now I'm going to write in place. Since you have 0, 2, 1, 1, 0, you have this. So this is, we always know that, just a moment, guys. Am I audible, guys? Is it fine? I hope so. Okay, cool. So we all know that our zeros will be at the beginning of the arrays and twos are the one which is supposed to be at the end of the array. Can we say that? This is where our zeros and twos are supposed to be, at the beginning and at the end, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two variables called P0 and P2. Okay. Initially, this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is indices, guys. Index. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to iterate one by one and then check. Initially, P0 is going to be at 0th location. P2 is going to be at the last location. In this case, it's 5th location. So whenever I'm going to get a 2, I'm simply going to replace the values with P2. If I'm going to get a 0, I'm simply going to replace with the values of P0. So I'll just show you a quick dry run. What I basically mean is my P0 is here, guys, at 0. and P2 is here at the end. And I have an I. Let me take an I, which is starting at 2. Okay, guys? So what I'm going to do is, it's a 2. So I'm going to replace and send this to here and get my value. So after the first iteration, my values will be 0, 0, 2, 1, 1, and 2. Okay. My still P0 is here at 0th location. My P2 will be decremented because if I get a next 2, I have to replace at this location because this is correct. This is now correct. Agreed, guys? Everyone following with me? So now, again, just hang on with me. I have my I here, my variable here. I will check what is the value. I is equals to 0. Then I will again replace it with P0, which is on the same location, doesn't matter anything. So then I will increment. My I will be here. It's a 0. Again, I will replace and I'll increment P0's value. I will say the next 0, which will be here, is not going to be here because I just replaced it. Next, I get a I here. I increment my value and I continue this process. So every time I get a 2, I replace it with P2. Every time I get a 0, I replace it P0. Clear, guys? With a P0, P2, and a P, I can solve this in place. I am doing with the swap analogy, but in place. Any queries or any doubts? I hope so, no? But I'll just go ahead and I'll implement first the count one. I have a count one. Is this visible, guys, or should I increase the font of this? I think I can do. Is my code visible now? I hope because I'm trying to write here. Yes, no, maybe, guys. Count to count 0. I have 0, 0, 0. Initialized to all the zeros. For every value, okay, for every value and the nums. For the folks who are new to the coding, what this line will do is it will go and iterate each and every element in the nums. So if the first value is 2, the very first time the nums value is going to be 2. Next, it's going to be 0. Okay. For your understanding, I'm just going to run this code and show you what it will print. So if you look at here is printed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, correct? And every time it is 2, 0, 2, 1, 1, and 0, which is in the same sequence of the nums. Clear, guys? So now at each time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if the value is double equals to 0. If it is, then I'm going to increase the count of 0 to plus equals to 1. Else if the value is double equals to 1, then I'm going to increase the count of 1 to plus 1. Else, if it's not both the ways, then the only thing is left is count 2. Then I'm just simply going to run an I in range of, either I can do that. Yeah, anything is fine. I am initializing an I there in the range of count 0. My nums of I equals to a 0, guys. I'm replacing it and then I'm incrementing I location. I'm going to do the same thing for 1 and 2. So 1 and 2. And then here it's going to be 1 and 2. That's it. Usually we return the values, but in this case, you don't have to return because everything has to be an in-place thing. See guys, accepted. You have absolutely correct values. I'll just try to submit this and show you the time and the space complexity. It's poor, it's 11%, but in terms of space, it's 97%, which is really, really good. Anything with higher numbers are good, guys, in this case. So this approach is also called, I think, bucket sort or something, which we did it. But yeah, this is not the right way. So what are we going to do is, with the help of this, I'm going to show you now. Is everyone clear with how this is going on? Any queries? Anyone? Any doubts? Any queries? So now I'm going to have T. You're still using extra space. Yes, yes. Now I'm going to explain you the approach number 3, which is in place. This is approach number 2, which we are talking about this, correct? Now I'm going to do the in place. Clear? So now I'm going to have P1 and P2, which is initialized to, I think, 0, 0, the length of my nums minus 1. So I'll just write like a while P is it P or P1? I think it's mostly P2. Then if my current, which is nums of P, is double equals to or less than 1, that basically means it's a 0. Can I say that, guys? So what are the conditions? If it is 0, then we are going to send it to the front. If it's 2, then I'm sending to the end of it. Clear, everyone? So nums of P, comma nums of P1. This is a Pythonic way of doing a swap, nothing else. Else, if nums of P is greater than 1, that basically means it's a 2, guys. Then I'm going to go ahead, do a swap again, but with respect to P2. And decrement P2's value. That's it. Else, that basically means that it is a 1 and it's on the right position. So I will just increment my P. What happened? Oh, sorry. My bad. It's not an else, it's an else if. So as you can see, it's absolutely correct. Anyone have any queries on the second algorithm, the optimized in place? How will you do the comparison if we have a red, blue, etc.? I'm so sorry, I did not understand your question, Piyush. Which was not actually 0, 1, 2. You mean to say, no, no, okay. We did not assume it to be like 0, 1, to be honest. It's the question which is given. They have given us the mapping. It was not mostly like assumption or something. It was like the question asked us to map a 0 to a red, 1 to a blue, and 2 to the white. Okay, that's cool. Anyone have any more queries for this question? So if I was supposed to be doing this in terms of Python, it would have been just a line like Even if I just do something like this, that will give me nums.sort is a inbuilt function for the sort, and that will do the work. See, if I go ahead and submit, probably this should run in the most fastest way. I'm not sure, but the space is 99, but the time is way faster. We only got 21, now it's 47. So it's better, but still it's not. But yeah, you can also implement a merge sort or a quick sort, which will give you the answer. Since those are the direct sorting algorithms, I'm not implementing at the moment, but you can do those as well. Any queries? We have seen 3 approaches for this question. One is doing a bubble sort, which is n square. Next, doing a bucket sort. This is also called bucket sort, guys, where we have like a count and then replacing, which is going to take big of n plus big of 1 space complexity. Then we did a big in place one, which is going to be big of 1 time big of n time complexity with a big of 1 space complexity. Clear, everyone? Okay, so I'll just move on to the next question. Oh, there's already code here. Let me just remove that. Okay, so the next question for the evening is a very easy question. And even this is a weird question though, because it have like 5,000 likes, but 9,000 dislikes because the question is not formed properly. And to be honest, even in your real interview, there are a lot of loopholes or there'll be a lot of gaps in the question. Why gaps and loopholes? Because the interviewers, they expect you to ask those questions. You know, they want to see how your thinking process is. They want to see if you're able to get the missing parts or ask about the missing parts. So if it's maybe it's about a tree or a graph, so you're going to ask them, is it going to have a self loop? What are the number of edges or something like that is been expected. So you have to have that kind of conversation, like what if you say that uh, what if the input is going to be a 0, but whereas your input was only strings, then you have to answer that. Your interviewer might say that we are not going to allow that, we are not going to accept that at the moment, so that's fine, but asking is your responsibility. So let's take a quick read at the question. Given an integer array nums sorted in the non-decreasing order, remove the duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. The relative order of the element should be kept in the same. Since it is possible to change the length of the array in some languages, you must instead have the result be in the first part of the array nums. More formally, if there are key elements after removing the duplicates, then the first key elements of the num should hold the final result. It does not have matter what you have been belong the first key elements. So the question is pretty straightforward. You will have a length. I'll just come back to this part later, guys. The question he's talking is, if the num says this, you have 1, 1, 2. The question is saying remove the duplicates from the sorted array. You have a sorted array, but there are duplicates in it. And what do you have to do? You have to just remove these duplicates. So what the question is suggesting is, guys, that if an array is like 1, 1, and 2, that is the only array elements you have, which is 0, first and second index. So what he's asking us to do is, if this is it, remove the duplicates, you should only have 1, 2, and the duplicate here. Or he doesn't care. He wants you to return the length of the non-duplicate elements. So if I let go of this one and you get a 2 here, you do a swap. Then you get a 2 here, you get a 1 here. Then what is the length? What is the length of sorted non-duplicate array? The array length is 3, but a sorted non-duplicate length is 2. How? 1, 2, 3 is the array length, but 1, 2 is the non-sorted. Is everyone clear with this? What I have explained, the array length and the sorted non-duplicate array length? Yes, no, maybe guys? Hmm. Great, great. So what we do is get all the non-sorted, non-repeating numbers to the beginning, and that's it, and return the length of it. That's all you have to do. You have to give back answer as 2 for this. Why? Because if you give back the answer as 2, that basically means that you have 1 and 2 and then this. Okay. So in this case, what do we have to do? I'll just take this example and put it here for us. Just a moment, guys. I'm just trying to increase the font for it. Okay, cool. So if you look at this question, so I have a 0, then if this is a duplicate, so let it be, then I get a 1, then I get again 2 duplicates, let it be, then I get a 2, then again a duplicate, then 3, then again a duplicate, then a 4. So the array length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the sorted array length is without duplicates is 5. You have to return answer as 5, and your array should look like in the nums, your new nums should look like this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can have anything here in the last 5 spaces. You can have either, again, those duplicates, then 2 and 3, rather that or anything else. Doesn't matter. But your array's first 5 digits should be the sorted ones without duplicates. Clear, guys? Or any questions? I will probably give you guys probably 1 minute of time to quickly go through this question. And I will also share the question in the chat. And let me know about it. After 1 minute, I'll write the code for this. Okay. Okay, guys. So how can we do this question? Anyone? Any initial thought process? Okay, so how the algorithm goes is, guys, that I'm going to have a variable called L, which is going to be at 0, and I'll have, these are indices. I will have my I starting from 1. If I say this is a unique value, let's say that, okay, let's simply say that this is, if this is a unique value, all I'm going to do is every time if my array of I is not equals to array of L, then I'm going to just replace array of L with array of I. And then I'll increment this value, okay, L plus plus, and I'll move ahead. Basically, this L, all it means is, guys, every time you get a not equals to value, you know where to replace it. You get the point? This is the place which will be helping us to tell where is the next index you can place a new value. So I'll just quickly show you here. What I have removed earlier is this. See, I'll start, sorry, yeah. Every time I will check if my L equals to 0. Every time if this not equals to 0, I'll increment the value of L and I'll put it there. And then I'll return the value. What and how this is going to help us is as simple as this, guys. So now I'm going to do a dry run. So dry run is also a very, very important step, guys. And it always helps us to understand the algorithm way, way better. So I'm taking this index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So initially my L is going to be 0. My I is equals to 1. So the number at my array of L is right now 0, sorry, is 1. And my array of I is also equals to 1. So these both the values are same. Agreed, guys? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so I hope you guys are following with me. Since the both values are same, that basically means that I cannot, this is something that I need to get rid of. Okay, so this is the location where I can place the next value. So I'm not going to do anything, just move ahead. Okay, when I equals to 2, I get my array of L equals to 1, and then my array of I, which is equals to 2. So what I'm going to do is I'll increment the value of L from 0 to 1, and then I will replace that value with this 2. So I'm going to replace 2. Get the point? Now my new array is going to be the 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then when my I equals to 3, both 2 and 2 do nothing. When I equals to 4, I get a value 3. So my L is here. I'll increment my L to here and then I'll replace it. And then I will just return L plus 1 value at the end. So if you just see the logic, that is what the logic is also talking about. Every time you iterate from 1 to the length of it, then we give nums of I minus, nums of I is not equals to nums of L, then increment, replace, and return. A simple 3-step process. Everyone clear about this? Yes, no, maybe, guys? Let me try submitting the code for this. Yeah, it's 80% and 48. It's perfect. Give me a moment, guys. Okay, guys. So I see these are the two questions that I'm discussing for the today, and we can just stop the class right now. The webinar is done. So if you have any more questions regarding the Python DSA with Python or anything else, please reach out to Arpita. I am sharing the information again in the chat. I have already shared earlier, but yes, please do call us and we will help you out. Have a nice day, guys. A very good evening. Bye.